NBC's Meet the Press normally concentrates on politics in Washington and beyond. But this week, the long-running Sunday morning show devoted an entire hour to a topic that piqued my interest.
This Sunday, policing in America.
Now, obviously, I was very curious. Policing in America. It's a topic I'm very interested in. I was hopeful that the show would take a deep look at policing in the U.S., examining crucial topics, including the struggle with recruiting new officers, low morale among the officers, overly critical media coverage of the profession, low pay that's not at all commensurate with their incredibly difficult responsibilities, as well as high-profile incidents that have undermined faith in police. And then, not surprisingly, I realized that this special was really just a way to bash police again.
If you have a job where you have to follow rules, if you're licensed to kill and have to be careful about how to use that power, if you have concerns about that, you should not be a police officer.
The culture within the law enforcement agencies, culture within those local law enforcement agencies, yes, we can take our cues from some of these outliers is what we're talking about, but also some of the sustained racism that we may see in law enforcement.
That sounds terrific.
Right.
Who's going to be against the Law Enforcement Bill of Rights when you look at this on here? But these have turned into almost a steroid version of immunity, hasn't it?
Right. It's special protections for law enforcement that are facing allegations of misconduct. These special protections are beyond the pale.
Sadly, but not surprisingly, given the way the left-leaning media tends to cover policing, the show featured just one pro-police advocate defending the profession against 3 police critics. Law enforcement didn't get anything close to a fair shake. Meet the Press examined policing in America entirely through the prism of a single police brutality case. The show spent the entire hour discussing Anton Black, a 19-year-old African-American man who died in police custody in Caroline County, Maryland, back in 2019. Black was tased and then pinned down on a ramp by 3 officers who handcuffed him and then held him down for 6 minutes. He died of sudden cardiac arrest. Black's family eventually settled a federal lawsuit with the 3 local municipalities for $5 million. One of the officers involved, Thomas Webster, was implicated in 32 use of force allegations during his prior tenure in a Delaware police department, including one incident in which Webster was indicted, but found not guilty for second-degree assault for kicking a suspect in the face, knocking him unconscious, but found not guilty. But in 2021, Maryland passed Anton's Law, which requires more transparency for police disciplinary records when officers switch jurisdictions. Now, I think as long as these are confirmed incidents and the officer has been found to be responsible, I think that can be a good thing. In fact, that was one of a series of police reforms the state enacted. And that brings us to the obvious question. Why did Meet the Press feel the need to cherry-pick a case from 3 years ago to hold up as some sort of symbol? They billed their show as an examination of policing in America. But what they really did was examine the problems with police. And they used 1 year-old case to do it. And let me be clear, I'm not defending the police tactics in that case. $5 million civil settlements don't happen all the time. But it seems many of the issues raised were addressed with a sweeping series of reforms in the state of Maryland. But see, that doesn't gin up outrage. The politicized media here sought to use this single incident to attack police more broadly. This is what they see as an examination of policing in America. It's like doing a special on school lunches in America and focusing on one story about a kid who got sick off a sloppy Joe 3 years ago. And that's the big problem here. As you see with so much coverage of police in the politicized media, if they had billed it as an advocacy piece, I would have much less of an issue with it. But policing in America ought to include the countless examples of police heroism and the challenges officers face today. Will we see that featured on a future episode of Meet the Press? I'm not holding my breath. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.